Welcome to Meet the Member, a podcast from the Equipment and Tool Institute. In this series, we sit down with ETI members from across the automotive tool and equipment industry to learn more about who they are, what they do, and the role they play in supporting vehicle repair around the world. From diagnostics and equipment to software, training, and innovation, these conversations shine a light on the people behind the products and services that keep workshops moving. I'm Winston Lee, MD of ETI in Europe, and in each episode I'll be meeting with members to hear their stories, their journeys, and their perspectives on our industry. Let's get started. I'm in Birmingham. I'm here to meet Louise Baker, who runs a workshop from home. I would like to have a conversation about the process of how you started and where you are, just some questions about the aftermarket and how you're coping with everything. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Good afternoon. Basically, your sort of background, you've started Womanic, is that the right way to pronounce it?
Womanic. Imagine woman mechanic.
Womanic.
Yeah.
So you started Womanic with 500 quid.
Yep.
How did you do that? Can you take us back? What made you make the decision that was the thing that you wanted to do?
It's a super long story, but I've always been in the motor trade. I have worked with cars since I was like 15. I was in and out of retail jobs and other different jobs. Always either got the sack or left or fell out with a manager and threw something. Never thought of like doing my own thing until I got made redundant from a very well-known auto store in town, which I love that job, and I got made redundant. And with my redundancy money, I opened an e-commerce store. I mean, we're talking like 20 years ago, years ago. And I called it Looney Tuning.
Right.
And I had this e-commerce store and I sold tuning parts, basically. Cams, filters, turbos. And I was basically just a middleman and I'd post them out. But I was very naive. I was very greedy. I had no business acumen. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just knew I wanted to work for myself. It lasted about 6 months, I think. And I ran out of money just because I just spent it all.
Okay. So you made money, but you just...
I made a little bit.
Yeah.
I did struggle to get out of bed.
Right.
So I struggled with discipline.
Yeah.
And I think you really need that when you run a business.
Yeah.
I was living at home with my parents, so I didn't have to get up in the morning. I'd just do it as and when, willy-nilly. So I closed that because it wasn't working for me. And then, what did I do then? I did all different retail management roles.
Okay.
And then I was unemployed for 2 years. And what I used to do is phone my local scrapyard and have any engines, just delivered outside the front of the house on a big low loader.
Yeah.
I'd pay 50 quid for them.
Yeah.
I'd drag them into the entry at the side of my parents' house. And with my dad's 1,000-year-old toolkit, I'd sit there and I'd strip the engine apart and just figure out how it worked and how it went together. And then that was when eBay just started.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'd do, I'd sell the parts at eBay, unknown condition, and then flog them. And that's how I supported myself for those 2 years. But I was learning at the same time. So then from that, I went to doing cars. And then I was breaking cars for parts. And then I went into tuning cars, making them faster.
Yeah.
Then I made a name for myself. I passed my tests. And then I was doing cruises and clubs and stuff.
So you've not passed your test before then?
I passed my test when I was 17, but I got no money because I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And then I went to work for an independent in Wednesbury, but I'd got no qualification in the motor trade.
Right. Okay.
It's just pure experience. So I applied for them on a whim. So I thought I need a real job, I need a mortgage.
Yeah.
And they employed me as a greeter.
Okay.
So basically, I was front of house. I'd book people in, upsell, and then 6 months being there, I was promoted to supervisor. And by the end of about 12 months, I was literally running the entire centre. I had about 11 lads working for me, and I ran the days. Oh, it was wicked. It was really good fun. I had to leave through a mutual accord.
Okay. Yeah, there was an agreement.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I thought, you know what? I don't ever want to do this ever again. I want out.
Right.
So I went to go and work for a very well-known supermarket.
Right.
And I was an out-of-hours manager. I worked nights. It was graft. It was horrendous. I had my first panic attack, my first anxiety attack. It was very stressful. I'd work like 14-hour days, 15 days straight. It was horrible. And then I met my ex-partner, fell pregnant, took the maternity leave at full pay manager. And then when it was time to go back, I went back just stacking shelves because I didn't want that stressful life anymore.
Yeah.
So I went back part-time. I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night time. And then I hated it. I'd fall asleep putting beans on the shelf. Like, it was the worst job I've ever had in my life. I hated it. But it gave me the flexibility to be with my daughter because then I was a single parent and I just needed a bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
And then I went to sleep one day and I dreamt the name Womanic.
Right.
And I remember telling my ex-partner, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to call it Womanic. And he's like, it's a stupid idea. This is ridiculous. You've got bills to pay. Like, and at the time, I got a mortgage to pay, bills to pay. Obviously, I got my daughter. She was like 1. And it was a big gamble. So what I did is while I was starting Womanic, I was still working at the supermarket. So I'd work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night time. So 10 on the evening till 7 in the morning. And then I'd work for myself Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday daytime. So in effect, I'd work 8 days a week. And I did that for 2 years as a new mum.
Wow.
It was slog. And I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't got no business qualification. I'd got nothing. I had nothing like that. So I built my own brand and website and I just slogged it for hours on end. And then when COVID hit, I knocked the supermarket on the head completely because I thought, you know what, if I can make it through this, I could do it for anything.
Yeah.
So then I went full steam ahead into Womanic and I never looked back. I should have done it years ago.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? Hindsight.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason.
100%. But I do feel like when I had that first business, I wasn't there. I wasn't mature enough. I was just thought it was a really cool idea to have your own business, but then don't understand actually how much work, time, blood, sweat and tears goes into it. You just think, oh yeah, I've got my own business.
Yeah.
I do it when I want, as and when I want. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. But then the second time round, I guess you realise then if you knew what you obviously knew, you wouldn't have done it if you didn't want to do it. So
absolutely.
You
have got to want to do something. I mean, I do that when I do all my school talks and STEM days and stuff. I'm like, do something you love to do. Because if you love to do it, it's not a job. You enjoy it. You don't worry about getting up every day.
Yeah.
Like, I love what I do. I don't worry about the day ahead. It's just good fun. I just have fun doing it.
Yeah. So what was, the biggest challenge, do you think? I mean, obviously having a child would be, juggling that.
Yeah, I would say mental health, I think, plays a big part. I like to think I'm quite strong. I'm strong-minded. I've got really good family support as well. My mum and my sister are fantastic. Yeah. And my dad, obviously, at the time. I think the hardest thing is managing time. I really struggle with paperwork and admin. That's my massive... So I've got a real bad downfall of mine. So doing my company accounts and tax returns, that's difficult. Yeah. So I find that my number one. Time management, I think, is really hard as well. Although I think as the years have gone on, I've got much better at that. And the biggest struggle I had when I first started was like insurances. To say that I am a small independent woman fixing cars in the middle of Birmingham, I need a trader's policy. And they're like, are you having a laugh? And most people in this area at the time were just getting traders policies for their families. Yes. So I had to prove that I'm a real company doing real car repairs. So I had to fight that for about 6 months.
It's a bit like the education process, isn't it? That because I've done the same thing with a traders policy, and you need to have the history, but then you need the policy to be able to get the history.
Absolutely.
And it's just like getting a job, isn't it? You need
your
the CV,
experience. Exactly. It's exactly the same. But I'm still with the same insurance company, believe it or not. But they were the only people that would give me the opportunity and the chance to do it.
Perseverance.
Absolutely.
Okay. So talking about career then, you time served. So you've done, 20 years, you say. So has any of that been with apprenticeship, or it's just been getting your hands stuck in? And
it's all self-taught. I didn't do an apprenticeship. I didn't do work experience in a garage. I think my work experience was in a photographer's and a cake making factory. Right. Okay. But I think when I was at school, I've always been into cars, and even when I did A-level art, all my artwork was of like headlights and alloy wheels and anything that I could get shine, like bodywork. I was always making something to do with cars, but at no point did anyone at school say to me, have you ever thought of being in the motor trade?
Yeah.
Nobody ever gave me a snap, so I never even give it a thought. You know, it was my hobby. I loved it. It was my passion. I was well known for it. I built a reputation for it. I mean, I had some cool cars I used to whiz around here in. Everyone knew me for it, but no one ever says, do you want it as a career?
So if somebody asked you now about that and you were fresh into it, maybe straight out of school or something, and somebody said, what do you think of the motor trade? What's your sort of instant thought in terms of what the picture is in your mind when someone says, do you want to get into the motor trade?
It's hard, isn't it? Because I've built up like a resilience to it and made a name for myself. It's easy for me to say, oh yeah, just go and get an apprenticeship and get into the motor trade. But I don't actually think it's that simple. And if I look at the girls that reach out to me on socials and stuff and say that they, you know, this is where they want to work and this is what they want to do, I can't find an apprenticeship anywhere. No one's giving me work experience. I don't know where to turn. I don't know what avenues am I supposed to go in. It must be really, really difficult. I could never imagine being a 17-year-old girl walking in to a garage full of grown men. Yeah. Excuse me, can I have work experience? Like, that for someone to do it, I mean, they've got to have some balls for a start off. It shows immediate character. Yeah. But there's not many 17-year-old girls that do that. Or lads, really. There's not many lads that do that. No. Yeah, it must be really intimidating.
But do you see the picture of the motor trade being on the tools, or do you see the other aspects of the industry in terms of opportunity?
I work on the tools and I have my own garage, so I call myself a frontline blue collar worker because that's what I am. Yeah. And I think there should be more girls that do this. I think in a corporate world, there are many, many, many girls that work in the corporate automotive. And I do say when I do the school talks and stuff, I'll say to people, you know, who likes art? And like, I'll have loads of people put their hand up and I'm like, have you ever thought of like spraying cars or doing airbrushing? Like, imagine doing airbrushing for Lewis Hamilton's helmets and stuff. Yeah. Or maybe you love embroidery. Imagine making Formula One suits. You know, imagine just doing workwear. You could do branded workwear in the motor trade. There's so many different aspects, marketing, you know, there's loads of avenues. And I don't think anyone really knows that. So the only way I can do that is to tap into what makes them tick and what they love, tap into that and then try and correspond it with a job in the trade. Because
at least, I mean, you just mentioned stuff that I didn't even think about, you know, brushing a helmet, for example. But,
how cool is it?
I look at, you know, my career in terms of, you know, being involved in tools and equipment and designing and you know, running those sorts of businesses. But that's what I want to try and get across is what you just said, really. There's just so many different facets to it. And, you know, our membership, we've got people that do information systems to hand tools to diagnostic tools, all sorts of stuff. And getting people into that industry and understanding how things work, you know, understanding, you know, how a car works and then being able to produce a tool or a piece of software that's intuitive. And you're not just there to write software or to design a tool. You're actually part of the whole ecosystem, the whole sort of thing in terms of automotive. Yeah. And that's, like you say, being able to put the two things together, your passion and then identify an opportunity.
So I will say to people, don't do what your parents tell you to do. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Don't chase the money. No. Don't chase the flat. Chase your hobby and your dream and what makes you happy. And those are the most important things. I chased money when I was younger. That's what I used to do. It was all about the money. Of course it is.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No, not at all.
And it's not until you get into your late 30s, early 40s that you actually get that.
Yeah. My grandpa used to tell me, so he different businesses, but he said to me, don't chase the money, work hard and the money will follow.
That's it. And it's correct.
Yeah.
But you don't believe it and you just think it's some grown-ups telling me what to do here. I'm not listening.
We sort of touched on the whole sort of male-dominated thing, and you know what you were passionate about was clearly the cars, and it just became something that felt natural to you, and your dad must have been a part of that then. And I know you say that you've not had any formal training, but you've obviously, you know, been inspired and pushed on by your father.
My dad taught me everything I know, whether that's in cars, whether that's in doing my house, being a good person. helping others. That's exactly what my dad was all about. So he's taught me all that sort of stuff. Cars was a hobby for him as well.
Right.
He was a plumber.
Okay.
But I think I did a video on my socials. It was when I had my garage done. And my mum says to me, your dad would have loved a garage like this. And so when my dad saw the garage, he loved it. He loved it because it's something he'd always wanted. But again, that goes back to me saying, do your hobby. My dad should have done his hobby and what he loved to do. Instead, he turned into be a plumber. Although he didn't do too bad, did he? Let's face it.
No, not at all. No.
Did a good job.
Yeah, he's done a very good job. What, in terms of what you do with the schools then, you're obviously talking to them about following their passions and stuff, but what's your sort of message to people that are, leaving school, maybe, coming out of high school and leaving, going forward into to college and then leaving and then university? I mean, there's a big change, isn't there, in who you are in those three stages of your life. So, what are you trying to get across to the younger ones and the middle ones and the older ones?
I do find that our target should be primary school children, because they're still eager to learn and they're eager to figure out what they want to be when they're older, and they're still looking at different options and stuff. I think when you get to secondary school, all they can think about is either going out with their friends or passing the driving test.
Yeah.
Just so they've got some sort of freedom.
Yeah.
No one's thinking about what career they want to do. They just want to think about either going uni or college, or I try to push them into apprenticeships. For me, apprenticeships is the way forward if you can get one. And it's drumming into students' parents that the motor trade isn't a fallback. I think there's a lot of parents that would say, you want to be in the motor trade, but you're way too clever to do that. It's always got that misconception that if you're stupid and you do rubbish at school, I know, go and work on a car.
Yeah,
that's the misconception. And I think but that comes from parents. That doesn't come from kids. They just get veered away from it. You're gonna be a lawyer. You're gonna be a doctor. Be a solicitor. Yeah. Why not be a mechanic? Why not? Why not? You could travel the world with it. I have.
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
But so I just try to show people that, listen, I started something from nothing. It's opened many doors for me, doors that I would never even dreamed of going through. And it just gives you a good option. And I just tell people to do what they love and be happy. It's not hard, really.
No, it's not hard, is it?
It's not hard.
No. But you think that giving, obviously, opportunity earlier on in school in terms of understanding what you want to do you think that's about hands-on experience and giving them the opportunity to experience the real world, if you like?
I think it's opening their eyes into what opportunity like. But I think that's where we have a responsibility to do that. Yeah. I think us as garages and as people that are already like quite big names in the motor trade, we have a responsibility to go out into our local community, go into our schools and just show what the motor trade for what it really is. We've got such a bad reputation for ripping people off, being con people, you don't want to be a mechanic, you've got to be a liar and a cheat to do stuff like that. We've got such a bad rep. Yeah. We need to prove that we are really good people, and it's a great industry to work for. It's a great industry to be in. It's constantly growing and thriving. Like for me, that's our responsibility, which is why I go into as many schools as I possibly can. I mean, I don't get paid to do that. No. I literally shut my garage for a day and I'll go into a school and do a talk, and I'll give out freebies, and I'll join in with their STEM days where they're making, I don't know, what were they making the other week? They were trying to filter rainwater so it was clean to drink. Okay. And so they had to come up with stuff and make it out of card and straws and stuff and it's just cool. And then they all follow you. They love the social media thing. They all follow you and they're like, oh my God, you were in my school. It's so cool what you do. I never even thought about doing your job. That's wicked. That's what I want to do. Like if I get 2 people from each school that I go into and I've just opened their eyes, I mean, that's good enough for me, because they'll tell their friends, they'll tell their family. Yeah. And it's just word of mouth. My business is built from word of mouth. I feel we can build the trade through word of mouth. Yes. But like I said, that's our responsibility. Yeah. Come down to us.
And you're talking about apprenticeships, and if you can get an apprenticeship, what do you think stopping garages and workshops and dealership giving apprenticeship?
I think garages don't understand that they can actually get grants
right,
to take on apprentice. So if they knew that, I think they'd be more forthcoming.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the manpower maybe to watch someone 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an apprentice for 2 years, and he just shadowed me for 2 years. But that's easy for me to say because it was just me and him.
Yeah.
It was like a buddy scenario. But I suppose if you've got a big place. But I just think people look for excuses. Why would you not want to take an apprentice? You can get someone in and mould them into the perfect technician, the perfect person that you want working for you.
Yeah.
You mould them to be who you want them to be.
I think a lot of the complaints around that, or the concerns around that, is that people move on. Certainly.
I mean, but you treat them right. Yeah, you treat someone right, they will stay.
Yeah.
No, that's when you look at family businesses. There's loads of small independent family business.
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
they get treated right and they stay. Like I know some technicians have been in the same place for like 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
They're obviously doing something right. I think with dealerships you're just a number. That's the problem. And with a small independent, you're a somebody.
Yes. With technology changing rapidly, isn't it? Electrification, ADAS, the software side of it, connectivity. From your perspective of being a workshop owner, what do you think the next generation of technicians are going to need to succeed?
I mean, I thought I could just wing through the next 20 years doing what I do until I bumped into the whole secure gateway thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I completely come unstuck to the point that I couldn't get a job done, and the car was stuck on my ramp for a simple brake pads and disc change.
Right.
The thing is, I think the aftermarket is really going to struggle for small independents because of the amount of you're going to have to put some decent money into equipment if you want to carry on for the next 30, 40 years. So you're going to have to put some pretty decent investment in. When it comes to all the technology needs, the computers, I mean, you can't just have one computer these days. You need to have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Then obviously you've got all your ADAS equipment. You've got all your EV equipment. There's so much stuff. For me, I think people should specialise in something. So I think so many garages downfall because they try to take on every job.
Yeah.
They don't have every equipment.
No.
They don't have every skill. And I think that's where they start getting complaints. That's where people start kicking off. That's where they start getting a bad reputation. If you're going to go and do something like that, specialise in something. So go and specialise in EVs. Go and specialise in ADAS. Make that your thing.
Yeah.
And be the best at that thing.
Yeah.
And people will come to you then because you're great at what you do.
Yeah.
Don't try and do everything. I just think it's a bad business decision.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that, because it's come up quite a lot. In conversations that we run these vertical groups at ETI, and we get our members and certain areas of interest, so electrification and ADAS, and then, like you say, the secure bit, the whole data and security side of it all. And it does come up as a bit of a theme, this whole specialising. I think you're right. That's going to be the way that people are going to have to go because of space. I mean, you've got plenty of room to get a vehicle in here and move around. But if you were looking at being able to cover all ADAS calibrations, for you to get the equipment in here, you're going to come up against stuff that you can't do. Yeah. And then you need to know what you can't do so that you're not letting people down.
It's the same as like mobile mechanics as well. I mean, they have to drive great big coaches around full of equipment. Do you know what I mean? How are they going to do it?
Yeah.
Stick to something, be the best at it, and don't try and venture out of it unless you're going to expand. For me, I like doing what I do. Yeah. So I'll just continue to do what I do. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. Yeah. It takes time to understand that, I think. But yeah, for someone coming into the trade now, be wicked at something, and then people just come to you.
So you've got like a core of people. You were saying that you don't really take new people on, so your customer base is a pretty constant, consistent, and not so much changing.
It's the best way. I mean, I took on a new customer yesterday, but I really felt like I needed to help her out, and I posted it on TikTok, and I'm so glad that I did help her out. But I have, yeah, my customer base is what I've built over the last 10 years. And so it's very rare I take on a new customer, and I book 4 or 5 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And that's where my time is managed better as well, because I know the car, I know what's been done, I know where I'm going to pick it up from, I know the customer, I know the history, I know what's needed from last year. Like, I know, so I can plan my day, I can plan my time, and it just flows right for me. That just helps. Common sense. It's common sense, really. I don't know why we don't know this in the beginning. It just makes sense, doesn't it?
And this is all, like you say, word of mouth as well?
Yeah, it's all word of mouth. I've never, I think I've paid for Facebook ads when I first started. So it was like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
What a waste of money that was. What's the point?
And do you still get people asking for you to take them on now then?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I had someone texting me at 8:30 last night. Can you do me a service on my Evoque? I don't know where you've come from. Who are you?
No.
But I'm always reluctant to take on new customers because I'm so booked up with my existing customers, and I tick over fine like that. To take on a new customer, what am I walking into? You know, why have they approached me? Have they approached me because they've seen great things, or have they approached me because they've been screwed over? And I've got to go. What am I walking into?
Yeah.
Has
it been through 5 other workshops? And
I'm going to drain the oil and not be able to get the sump plug back in.
Yeah. So what are the realities of running your workshop today, that the people outside the trade, so your customers and what have you, that the things that they may not realise? I mean, a good story today is obviously, you being an hour and a half or whatever out of sync because of waiting for an oil filter. But, what sort of things do you see that people don't really see themselves as being customers that you have to deal with
I think people forget that it's just me.
Yeah.
So it's me that picks your car up. It's me that works on your car. It's me that drops the car back. It's me that does the TikTok. I do everything, absolutely everything, and I do it all on my own.
Yeah.
If I hit traffic, which is plenty around here at the minute because it's the end of the tax year for Birmingham City Council, so they're doing all the roadworks in the water. But yeah, if I hit traffic, I'm screwed. I'm going to be late. If my supplier doesn't send me my filters on time, like today, it's knocked me half an hour behind. So I'm half an hour behind for all my MOTs. Yeah. I'm half an hour behind for all my meetings. I'm half an hour behind for everything.
Yes.
People don't understand that if I am late, there is no one doing the work. So I try not to be late. It's the same as like in the winter, and this is a classic one. So when we had the bad frost and I'd get to customer's house and they haven't defrosted the car for me, I'm sitting there now for 20 minutes defrosting the windscreen. You've just knocked me so far behind. You don't get it.
No.
But I mean, I started messaging people saying, make sure your car's defrosted.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a message for everyone on that's listening. Make sure you defrost your car.
But yeah, I just think people don't realise that it's just me.
Yeah.
It's all right going to a larger corporate company or a dealership where you've got a few people doing different jobs. It's just me.
But I mean, it's a really nice personal service, getting your car collected. And
100%. That's what everyone says. And they like it. It's convenient. I do a lot of NHS teachers and stuff. So while they're at work, I'll be in the car and I drop it back by the time they finish work. They've not been without the car. They've managed to do some work. They're not out of pocket.
Yeah. As long as you can get the sump plug back in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which is why I do existing customers.
So looking back at where you are now, what's made you the most proud?
What's made me the most proud? Do you know what? When I get messages from students or work experience or anything like that, when I get, because I get a lot of them, I love that. That's what makes me know that when I go into a school, I'm doing something right and I'm doing it for a good cause and it's working. So yeah, I would say, look, that's my proudest moment is getting messages from youngsters to say, wow, you've inspired me, or wow, I've got an apprenticeship. Because I get loads. Yeah. So yeah, they're my proudest moments. I love them.
So looking ahead then, sort of 3 to 5 years, what does success look like for you? And
3 to 5 years, I would hope to say that I've got a few more partnerships with some decent brands. I'm still doing what I'm doing because I do love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I would have gone into many, many more schools and colleges to show people the motor trade. I'm hoping that we get more women blue collaring. Yeah. I'm hoping we get more women on the spanners. Mm-hmm. I think we need it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we need it. I know we need it.
Yeah.
It will help the general public as well. And just changing perception of the motor trade, for me, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Make everything 50-50. I'm not saying women need to take over. That's not the case. I think it should be 50-50. We should all be equal. Why can't a young girl come and work on the spanners? Mad. In 5 years' time, they'll all be queuing up.
If you're good at the job, it doesn't matter, does it?
Exactly.
That's the key, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, the right people in the right jobs. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for having me.
No, not a problem at all. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see you in June at our Surrey event and be part of the panel of shop owners that we're going to have there.
Yeah, I think that sounds really fun. Yeah, I'll be there.
Certainly in terms of promoting the youngsters and getting sort of younger generation in interested in engineering and whether they're girls or boys, just motivated. I think that people like you are the people that are going to make the difference. So thank you for that.
No problem. I love it. I love doing what I do.
Yeah, I'm sure that our members that come in June will be excited to talk to you about plenty of stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Thanks for listening to Meet the Member, a podcast from the Equipment and Tool Institute. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know more about today's guest and the work they do within our industry. If you'd like to find out more about ETI, our members, our future episodes in this series, please visit our website or follow us on LinkedIn. I'm Winston Lee, and thanks again for listening.